Close your eyes and imagine a world without you. A world where your name has never been spoken. Where your footsteps never touched the earth. In the grand theater of the cosmos, we are less than a whisper. We are a flicker of light between two eternal darknesses. The universe is 14 billion years old. You will exist for less than a heartbeat of that time. Every memory you hold, every person you love, every scar on your skin. It is all destined to be unwritten. Is it possible that our search for meaning is just a desperate scream into a void that cannot hear us? Welcome to the terrifying logic of nihilism. Part 1. The Why Trap, the Psychology of Deconstruction. The descent into nihilism begins with a single word. Why? Why do you wake up? To work. Why do you work? To survive. Why do you survive? To pass on your genes. Why pass on your genes? To keep the species going. Why keep the species going? Eventually, the answers run out. You hit a wall of silence. This is where the logic breaks. This is the why trap. Psychologically, our brains are wired to find patterns and purposes in everything. We see faces in the clouds and destiny in the stars. But when we peel back the layers of reality, we find nothing but cold, mathematical indifference. Nihilism isn't a choice, it is a logical destination for the honest mind. It is the realization that the meaning we feel is just a chemical trick played by our neurons to keep us moving. A carrot on a stick held by a ghost. Once the meaning of life is gone, the rules that govern our souls begin to crumble. If life has no purpose, does good even exist? Part 2. The dark morality, beyond good and evil. If there is no cosmic architect, then there is no cosmic law. Think of the things you find most evil. The acts that make your blood run cold. To a nihilist, evil is just a sound we make to describe things that threaten our comfort. In the eyes of a cold universe, the predator and the prey are equal. The saint and the killer occupy the same dust and share the same silence. This is the part that scares people the most. The idea that morality is a social contract written on a napkin during a hurricane. Nietzsche warned that when we killed the idea of God, we unchained the earth from its sun. We are now drifting into a cold space where right and wrong are whatever the strongest person says they are. Without an objective truth, your conscience is just an echo of your ancestors' fears. Are you brave enough to live in a world where nothing is forbidden? Our morality feels huge to us, but let us zoom out. Let us look at the clock that never stops ticking. Part 3. The temporal abyss, the death of legacy. Humans are obsessed with being remembered. We build monuments, we write books, we carve our names into trees. But look at the ruins of those who came before. Kings who thought they were gods are now dust under the feet of tourists. In 10,000 years, the language you are speaking right now will be dead. In a million years, every trace of human architecture will be ground into sand. Even if you become the most famous person in history, you are just a slightly longer shadow in the sunset. This is temporal nihilism. The realization that time is an ocean that eventually drowns everything. If a masterpiece is painted and then burned immediately, did it ever matter that it was beautiful? If your life is just a flash of lightning in a billion-year storm, why does it feel so heavy? But time is only half of the nightmare. Step further back, into the freezing silence of the stars. Part 4, Cosmicism. The horror of indifference. H.P. Lovecraft called this cosmicism. It is the belief that we are so insignificant that the universe doesn't even hate us. It simply doesn't notice us. Imagine an ant colony built on a massive construction site. The workers aren't trying to be cruel when they pour the concrete and bury the colony alive. They just don't see the ants. We are those ants, living on a pale blue dot in an ocean of radiation and vacuum. Nihilism is the ultimate ego-death. It strips away the delusion that we are the protagonists of a grand story. There is no story. There is no narrator. There is only the void, and the small, flickering candles we light to distract ourselves from it. If the stars don't care, perhaps the answer lies within? Let us look inside the machine of the self. Part 5. Epistemological nihilism, the illusion of self. Who are you? Are you your thoughts? Thoughts are just electrical signals triggered by biology and environment. Are you your body? Your cells are replaced every few years. You are a river that thinks it is a statue. Epistemological nihilism suggests that we cannot truly know anything. Our senses are limited. We see only a tiny fraction of the light spectrum. We hear only a fraction of the sound. We are like blind men trying to describe a mountain we can never touch. If our brains evolved for survival, not for truth, then everything we believe is a useful lie. Yourself is a hallucination created by a brain that is terrified of being nothing. You are a ghost driving a meat machine through a dream. We have reached the bottom. There is no further to fall. Now, we must decide what to do with the silence. So, where does this leave us? At the bottom of the abyss, there is a strange, terrifying kind of peace. If nothing matters, then your failures don't matter. Your embarrassments, your anxieties, your debts. The universe doesn't care if you succeed or fail. The pressure to be someone is finally gone. You are free to simply exist. Like a tree, or a rock, or a burning star. Nihilism isn't the end of the journey, it is the beginning of a different kind of life. A life where you are the only one who can decide what is beautiful. The void is calling. Will you let it swallow you, or will you dance on its edge? Thank you for staring into the dark with me today. If you felt the weight of the abyss, leave a comment below. Subscribe if you aren't afraid of what we might find next.